Good morning, everyone. Isn't it a wonderful day, weather-wise, and a wonderful day to celebrate? We are here today to celebrate two anniversaries. One is the celebration of the 40th anniversary of the founding of Bennington Project Independence. And the other is the 10th anniversary in this wonderful facility. This has been 10 years that we wouldn't have been able to have here if it wouldn't have been for Mrs. Lillian Seward, who unfortunately couldn't be here today to be with us. But we have Cat TV videotaping this celebration, so she'll be able to see it on television, and we're happy about that. We have the family of Mrs. Seward here as well, and I would ask the family to stand up so we can introduce them and give them a round of applause. Family, stand, please. Thank you so much. We're so happy that you're able to come and represent Mrs. Seward. Yeah. Okay. We have another special guest who's to my left, and he's going to be formally introduced by Representative Mary Morrissey, who will be speaking shortly. Other people here, I would like our present board to stand up, please. Would you all stand up, those who are here? Thank you. Okay, and I think we have some past board members here. I know we have Pam Santarangelo, who was very instrumental and on the board. Were you president at the time? President when this building was built. So Pam, stand, and any other past board members who are here, please stand. Okay, and we have, I wonder if, aside from Representative Morrissey, are there any other legislators here this morning? Okay, that's what I figured. It happened to be a Tuesday, and they're up in Montpelier, but... Okay, all right. Take it slow. Don't go fast. Okay, and we have, to my right, Gary Corey, who was the project architect for this building. Gary, you want to stand? Put in a plug for him if you have any architect work to be done. You can see his work. Great. And Chris Cole was the project manager. I'm not sure he's able to come. Okay, good. Well, without further ado, I'm going to introduce our executive director of BPI, who is also celebrating an anniversary. She's been executive director for 30 years. This is her 30th year, actually the beginning of her 31st year. Linda Woodslack.
Thank you, everybody. I started when I was 16, so I think it's an honor and a privilege to be here today and to share this amazing building and this amazing organization with everyone. As Linda said, BPI has had the opportunity to celebrate 40 years of service to the community. I've had the opportunity of seeing this organization grow and mature and to become what it's become today for everybody for 30 years. We have some wonderful staff who have shared that longevity with me, who have seen this journey up to the hill, and we have this amazing facility to appreciate. 10 years ago, when we were on Pleasant Street and we were all crammed together, some of you remember that?
I remember that.
We did amazing work, and we had a lot of joy and happiness at Pleasant Street, but we knew we had outgrown it. And the board had a vision to try to find a new home for us. And we had a board member at the time who was a real estate person who kept driving up and down Route 7A and found this abandoned property and contacted the out-of-state owner and negotiated with that person to sell the property to us. And that person fell in love with the mission of the organization and gifted back half the cost of the property to us, which made it possible for us to purchase it. And then that started the work to bring us here. And as Linda said, we had an amazing angel who stepped forward, Lillian Seward, who stepped forward and donated $2.5 million, an amazing amount of money, to help jumpstart this project and to make this building possible. And we're honored to be able to have this building named after one of her brothers, Dr. Richard A. Sleeman, who was the educational director at the Massachusetts College of Art. And he was an educator and committed to a champion of people with disabilities. And we're very honored to have his name on our building, and we hope that we embody the spirit of what Dr. Sleeman is all about in terms of helping the community and helping people with disabilities, and we try to do that every day. So we're honored to have that opportunity, and we thank Lillian and the family who is here today. And as Linda said, we had some amazing people. Gary Corey from Centerline Architects and Planners did an amazing job sensitively blending this historic property, the Zachariah Harwood family property. This building that we're in right now, the barn that we're in, was built in 1785. And he was able to blend the historic components with a state-of-the-art handicapped accessibility to create a really home-like environment that I think we all enjoy a lot today. And obviously, we have a lot of people here today, and BPI is continuing to grow. And believe it or not, you know, I didn't want to say this in front of Gary, but we've outgrown the building.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. So we are hoping, this is phase one of the Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center that we're all enjoying. And believe it or not, there is a whole phase two. Underneath us, the project manager at the time, Christopher Cole, when we were building this building, we had a backhoe here, and he said, when you have a backhoe, you should dig a bigger hole. So we did. And underneath us is an entire lower level that is yet, that we can expand into, and hopefully at some point in time in our future we'll be able to do that. But we really wanted to thank everyone and to celebrate. We love to party at BPI, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We are serious party animals here. And this is an opportunity for us to really express the joy and appreciation for everything, from architect to project manager to Lillian, to everyone in the community who contributed, to the legislature who also supported the building of this wonderful facility, and everyone who's here today, because we all make up BPI and we all get a chance to enjoy the wonderful Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center. And let's give it a big round of applause for its 10th anniversary. And now I'd like to turn it over to Representative Mary Morrissey.
Just Mary.
Good morning, everyone. I am extremely pleased and honored to introduce to you the Governor of the state of Vermont, Phil Scott, who is here to celebrate with us. So if you can put your hands together and give him a Southern warm welcome.
Well, thank you very much for a couple of things. Thanks for inviting me here to beautiful Bennington, as well as for getting me out of Montpelier. This is a great school, you know. I had a terrific drive down. What a beautiful spring day we have, and you know, driving down through Rutland and so forth, and coming down on Route 7 just reminds us of how special this is to live in Vermont, and it certainly is worth it. This isn't my first time to this facility. I actually came here with Mary a number of years ago for a tour. And it's just as beautiful as I remember. And I remember being in this room itself and remarking of how beautiful the restoration was. So you have a lot to be proud of. And I could see myself living here as well someday. I mean, this is my kind of place. I appreciate being part of this celebration to mark the 40th anniversary of Bennington's Project Independence, as well as the 10th anniversary having been located in the Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center. I also want to join many in the Bennington community in recognizing and thanking Lillian and her family for her incredible contribution and generosity made in memory of her brother. Without it, we certainly wouldn't be in this facility like this one, which serves so many members of this area. Not every community in Vermont is as fortunate and lucky to have a place like this. It's impressive to look back at the 40 years of compassionate support for aging because unfortunately our policy at the state level has not always focused on supporting independent living. While Project Independence got its start through a state initiative back in the 1970s, it's taken the rest of the state decades to catch up to your example, your leadership, and your standards. And it's really important that the rest of the state does catch up. Representative Morrissey, who I appreciate having been the first to let me know of this event, has heard me talk about Vermont's challenges, our demographics before. But I want to highlight them again briefly now. Vermont is one of the fastest aging states in the country. Third, only behind Maine and New Hampshire. And while we're focused on reversing some of these trends by attracting more working age people to Vermont, which we desperately need, we have fewer people. Our population is just about stagnant right now. And we need to reverse that. We need to be more welcoming. We need to be more inviting and more attractive. So it's important, though, that we continue to evaluate how we're doing to support independence so that Vermont remains the best state in the country to live as we age. In 2005, I was in the Senate at that time, we passed a bill to establish what is now known as Choices for Care. It was designed specifically to help us shift the balance from institutional care to community-based care. When we started out, only about 34% of Vermonters needing long-term services received their care in the community. By 2017, 54% of Vermonters chose to stay in their own communities. This is positive progress, and places like Project Independence laid the foundation for it and have contributed to its ongoing success. I'm optimistic we'll continue to be innovative in how we support aging in Vermont because it's not a partisan issue. Democrats and Republicans alike, we all age, so we have to take care of ourselves. So we'll continue to take a flexible approach, working to keep Vermonters healthier longer, preventing falls, addressing the need for good nutrition and exercise, facing the challenge of dementia and Alzheimer's, and supporting our healthcare workforce to provide the kind and quality care we want for our family members and for ourselves. Maybe a round of applause for all your caregivers here. You have many of them. Thank you very much for all you do. We also have to continue to try to support Vermonters in the setting of their choice, so they have the benefit of using facilities just like this one and keep that tie to their communities, which is so important to each and every one of us. So again, thank you for having me here. Congratulations on your 40th anniversary. And I also have a letter here that I'm going to leave with you, and it may repeat a couple of things, but I thought it was important to read it, and then I'll leave it with you here, if that's all right, Mary. Dear Bennington Project Independence members, congratulations on your 40 years of service to the Bennington community. Your care for young adults with disabilities and older community members have been integral to helping them maintain a high level of vitality, health, and well-being, and enable many of them to continue to reside in their homes. The care your dedicated and professional staff provides has left lasting impact on the lives of your clients. I also want to congratulate you on celebrating the 10th anniversary of the Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center. This facility has helped you expand care to even more people in Bennington, serving about 55 people each day. The work you do as a community in Bennington and at the Sleeman Center provides a model of success for most vulnerable members of our society. So I thank you again for all your service over the past 40 years, making Bennington a greater place to live. Sincerely, myself. So thank you very much for having me here today. And with that, somebody else is coming up to speak.
I think I'll have to have the governor arm wrestle me for my seat out on the porch that I've already.
I think you'll win, Mary.
Okay, there we go. Good morning, everyone, and what a great day to continue the celebration of Bennington Project Independence 40th anniversary of providing adult day services in our Bennington County region. Today, we further celebrate our 10th anniversary of providing those services here at the beautiful Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center. And I am so pleased that the governor is here with us, and thank you for bringing the sunshine. Except for I'm not sure if it's the sunshine outside or the beautiful smiles on all these faces. Both, thank you. As a longtime board of director of BPI, I am in awe of our very long and proud history. We definitely have come a very long way from the basement setting of the Baptist Church to our state-of-the-art center here at Harwood Hill. The one important fact is that the excellent individually defined services provided for each of our participants has been a constant through our 40 years. Thanks to our outstanding staff and administration, we strongly feel here at BPI that every one of our participants and their family is indeed a part of our larger family, and our home is their home away from home during the day. As I look around this very home-like styled building with pride, I am still amazed to see what it is today from where it was when we purchased the property. There is the billboard over here on the wall that shows from where here in this room that shows the drastic overhaul of this historic farmhouse, but also keeping the historical integrity of the building as well. We have many to thank for their commitment and hard work to seeing that our Phase 1 plan of the new home was completed. And however, there is one person who stands out in needing to be profusely thanked, and that person is Lillian Seward, our largest contributor to the project. Lillian was a true visionary who saw the need to enlarge the adult day services here in our community and region. Lillian has truly touched the lives of so many by her great generosity, kindness, and compassion for others. What a loving tribute to her brother, Richard A. Sleeman, for whom the center is dedicated to. We thank Lillian, and I wish Lillian could have been here with us today. But if you would all say so that the Cat TV can pick it up, thank you, Lillian, nice and loud for her. She'll hopefully see it on TV when she sees this broadcast. So if you join me on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Lillian. And we thank Lillian from the bottom of our hearts. I am very pleased that some of Lillian's family is here, George and Rosita and Richard's son, Tim, and Candace's husband, who came all the way from New Hampshire. I bet you had a beautiful drive this morning as well. And also, Richard's son, Tim, is here, and he should be our welcome wagon here at BPI because everyone gets a hug and a good word from Tim, so thank you for that. Now, wearing my legislative hat, I will read the legislative proclamation that was specifically written for this occasion. It actually is a piece of legislation, and I wish all pieces of legislation were like this, that will be forever a part of the state of Vermont's history as it rightfully should be. I ask my Bennington County colleagues to join me in sponsoring this resolution, which I will read at this time. House concurrent resolution congratulating Bennington Project Independence on its 40th anniversary and the 10th anniversary of its home at the Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center, offered by Representatives Morrissey of Bennington, Bates of Bennington, Brownell of Pownell, Browning of Arlington, Carroll of Bennington, Corcoran of Bennington, Durfee of Shaftesbury, James of Manchester, and Sullivan of Dorset, and Senators Sears and Campion. Whereas maximizing the ability for older Vermonters to remain residents in their own homes is a public policy goal with broad appeal. And whereas starting in the late 1970s, a new approach to meeting this worthy objective was introduced through the establishment of adult daycare centers. And whereas the Bennington Elderly Action Committee secured state financing to establish Bennington Project Independence, which was incorporated in 1978 and opened in the basement of a local Baptist church in September 1979. And whereas the founders of BPI were Beth Cheadle, Reverend Kenneth Costin, Dale Loomis, Joseph Lopiccolo, Virginia North, John Powell, Claire O'Leary, Mary Seidel, William F.D. Smith, Joseph Thorpe, and David Vilner. And whereas BPI provided daytime on-site support services to both older area residents and younger adults with disabilities. And whereas the original location soon proved inadequate to meet BPI's expanding needs, and in 1982 it was moved to the Bennington Senior Citizen Service Center building, which also soon proved to be too confining. I'll take a break for a second to say, when I think of that setting, it was probably as big as this room, the whole setting, if even possible, and we were serving just about as many as we are today. Whereas a larger and more creatively designed headquarters with the potential for further growth was needed, and whereas the result of the extraordinary generosity of Lillian Seward, Phase 1 of the Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center, opened its doors in 2009, and it constituted both a memorial to Lillian's brother and the realization of BPI's dream for a more durable and accommodating home. And whereas the center is a meticulously designed, state-of-the-art facility that provides exceptional care in the home-like environment, and whereas BPI now serves approximately 50 to 55 persons per day, and potential future expansion will enable those numbers to increase. And whereas Bennington area residents appreciate the caring and important role that BPI serves for its clientele, now therefore be it resolved that the Senate and House of Representatives, that the General Assembly congratulates Bennington Project Independence on its 40th anniversary and the 10th anniversary of its home at the Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center, and be it further resolved that the Secretary of State be directed to send a copy of this resolution to Bennington Project Independence and to Lillian Seward. And at this time, if Linda could come up, I would appreciate being able to present you with your plaque as well. And we will later get pictures with the governor in this as well.
Thank you, everyone. If you haven't seen the cake before we cut it here, it's got a picture of this facility, and it's not going to be there for very long because we're going to cut into it. I think we're going to ask the governor to make the first slice. Okay.
Are you ready to do this? So how many pieces? Just 2?
Well, this is the end of our ceremony, and I think our participants are going to go back to their activities and get ready for lunch, which is coming soon.
What started out as an overgrown derelict property on Harwood Hill has evolved into the state-of-the-art Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center, the home of Bennington Project Independence Adult Day Service. The property was purchased in 2004, and BPI began trying to raise the necessary funds to create a new adult day center to meet the growing need for adult day services for older persons and younger adults with disabilities and their family caregivers throughout Bennington County. It wasn't until Lillian Seward, with her vision and compassion, made an incredible donation to BPI of $2.5 million that made the Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center possible. The building stands as a tribute to her brother, Dr. Richard A. Sleeman, a prominent local educator and champion of individuals with disabilities. The Richard A. Sleeman Center sensitively blends the historic core of the Harwood farmstead with state-of-the-art handicapped accessibility to create an amazing facility that serves as a model of care. There is still more work to be done. Phase 1 of the Dr. Richard A. Sleeman Center is celebrating its 10-year anniversary. We look forward to providing the community with a future of exceptional care for many years to come.